Welcome, welcome, welcome to Viada's Tiny House Village. It's Wednesday, January 21st. We are more than halfway through January. Hallelujah. I'm so glad to see this month moving fast because the weather has been cold, hot, up and down, up and down. So, thank you for joining me tonight. This is a very, very important show, as always, because another phenomenal woman is going to be on the stage, Iyanla Vanzant, and I'm going to tell you why. But then we have the a few people who don't see her as phenomenal. I watched a YouTuber just attack her viciously, and I'm going to show you the difference in the energy of one millennial, in fact, several millennials who can attack a teacher, a spiritual woman like Ayanna, and then another millennial who is just so in love with this woman who has learned a lot from her. And we're going to break down the whys of this. And the monks are on the march. We've got these monks marching throughout the United States from, I think they started in Texas, they're now in Georgia. They're bringing the message the world needs, and we want to tap in on that energy as well. So, thank you for joining me. Let's get busy. Joining or inviting the Tiny House Village. You mature adults, immature adults. I hope tonight that we will all raise our vibration and become more enlightened about energy of certain people that are not ready to be taught by mature teachers. Okay, that I'm going to put it that way. But tonight, vegetable soup for women. It's all about what Wednesday is all about. This is the cover of a book that I had the pleasure, the honor of writing a couple of stories in with eight other authors, eight or nine, I forget, eight or nine other authors. And it's available to you by sending in a $8 cash app, and you can get the whole book where it is truly a collection of divine organized stories that will nourish your body, mind, and finances. And the authors of this book came from all over the country, and we were motivated. I was motivated to contribute to this project because of a movie by Tyler Perry called Straw. And it was, to me, a very depressing movie of what happens to a woman who doesn't thrive. In fact, she collapses and ends up going to jail, prison, probably, because she ended up robbing a bank. She killed a few people, blah, blah. It was a horrible, depressing story with lots of lessons. So Vegetable Soup for Women is available to you to bring the solutions to those type of life stories where women are confused and depressed and lose their children and end up being really mentally out of balance. So that's what this book is an opposite. It'll bring you the solutions and the encouragement to keep pressing on, keep pressing on. So send the cash app to $ Vieta Robinson for $8, and you'll get the whole book. And then you can share it with others. You're not limited. This is a PDF ebook. So when you get this book, you're able to share it with others who can also be nourished and encouraged and enlightened in these times of confusion. And I mean, housing problems galore. My partner and I, L.A. Davis, Vaughn, aka Vaughn Schwartzwald, is he's joining me tonight. And he and I are working to put together a carpentry school and a workshop and a radio program that will help people build and find affordable housing. That's my mission for 2026 with my partner, Vauban. Vauban is here in voice. Good evening, Vauban.
Good evening.
How are you this evening?
Better than terrific.
Hallelujah. He lives in Lakeland. I'm in Orlando. And so we communicate often by phone, text, and all that because we're both committed to help our brothers and sisters out there who are suffering and struggling with housing issues, especially to find or build their own houses. My grandfather built his own house. I spent many summers in my grandfather's house, which is actually the size of my current house. The 320 square foot of space I live in, my grandfather's house was this size, maybe smaller when I think about it. I imagine when I'm in this house where his kitchen was, where his dining room table was. I imagine all the rooms that he had in this small space, but he built it himself. So he always had a roof over his head. And that's our mission this year, is to help others build or find affordable housing. So let's get to the topic for tonight. I came across a YouTuber who's, I think her name is Jasmine. That's what her email says, Jasmine at Gmail. And she is a millennial. I found out watching some of her videos. She has autism. She has adult autism. But I want to just share a video she made where she just criticized Iyanla Vanzant as being a covert narcissist and just not worthy of being called a teacher, spiritual teacher. And she accused all baby boomers of being narcissistic. Now, if you know anything about narcissism, I did a workshop on narcissism about 5 years ago. So I did a lot of research and studying. Plus, I have two people in my life who are fairly close. One of them actually passed away. My stepmother was very narcissistic. And another person in my life who I won't name is very narcissistic. So you get to recognize the energy of these people. And I would say the main characteristic of these people is extreme selfishness. They don't care about anyone else but themselves, and they will blame other people for anything that happens that they don't want to be responsible for. In fact, another characteristic of narcissism is they don't take any responsibility for their actions. They blame and shame other people in a big way. Now, having said that, narcissism is on a spectrum. You have people with mild narcissistic characteristics, like myself sometimes, and some of my friends. We all agree sometimes we can be a little narcissistic, very controlling. We want to control our environment. We want to control the people. But then we kind of lighten them and say, well, we can't do that. So let's do something else. But then you have people moving along on the spectrum, like President Trump, I think would be way over on the other side of the spectrum. Just all about him. He put his name recently on the Lincoln, was it the Lincoln Center?
Kennedy Center.
The Kennedy Center. I thought that's a great, give him a hand. That's extreme narcissism for you. He just continues to display for us extreme narcissism on the spectrum of this very interesting characteristic. And then you have people in the middle who are not as extreme as Trump, but they're always thinking about themselves. They don't take responsibility, and they really can harm other people. They control a situation to the benefit of not the people involved, but their benefit. So that's just a little bit about narcissism. So I want to just show a little bit about this woman who claims all baby boomers are narcissists. And when I saw this, I was like, well, I left a long comment on her video. And then I answered another video, because here's the interesting thing. Everyone, I think 100% of the people who were watching this video. As I was reading the comments, they were all agreeing with her. Yeah, thumbs up. Yeah, you're right. That's right. That's right. Those baby boomers got to go. We got to blame the baby boomers for our miserable life, I guess. Which is crazy to me, because, hey, as you're going to hear from Iyanla, we're all here to learn lessons. Nobody has really a lot of control about the lessons that come to you. But let me just show you this woman. This woman who says Iyanla Vanzant is a covert narcissist, and Iyanla happens to be my it's a phenomenal woman of the day. On Wednesdays, I highlight phenomenal women, and I'm planning to send a PDF of this book to this YouTuber who thinks all baby boomers are narcissists, and they really ought to be hung over a tree. So as you'll see, this woman is kind of she's pretty much a narcissist in my mind. She just doesn't know it. She's the covert narcissist accusing others of being that way. So listen up, take notes, and then we're going to talk about the energy of this woman who would put this type of thing out.
Hold on. I was a horrible mother. Horrible. I was a great father.
Hold on. No, we gotta unpack that.
I was a horrible mother, meaning when my kids were growing up, I didn't know what mothering was. I didn't understand it. And because the father wasn't in the home,
right,
in a positive way.
Now, this is Iyanla, for those of you who don't know. And this is the one thing that tells me she's not a covert narcissist, because covert narcissists don't take responsibility. They don't usually accept the mistakes that they've made. And yet here she is saying what she did wrong in her life. And that's not a characteristic of someone who has narcissistic
way. I did the providing. I did the protecting. I did the, guiding, and I didn't do the nourishing, the nurturing, the affirming.
Okay. And that is why women, when she says she didn't have her female strong qualities of nurturing and carrying, that's what women have breasts for, to bring out milk. The spiritual energy of milk is nurturing and caring. And she admits right here that she didn't have those qualities at all. And that is usually because of childhood adverse childhood experience. Now here comes the maker of this video, who I look at and I see this woman is very natural in her appearance. She's not that way all the time, but I like the way she's presenting her appearance as very natural. But listen to the words and feel the energy of this millennial. I'm gonna call her a millennial, who wants to say that Iyanla is the problem, not her.
Am I going to be the only person to call out Iyanla Vanzant? I have not seen anybody speak out against her. I don't know if people are scared of her. I don't know if people are scared because she's a life coach, or she has this show and she's always, trying to help people get their life in order. What about Iyanla?
Now, I want you to keep in mind, Iyanla is 78 years old. This woman is I believe she's maybe 48, 49. So she's a millennial. So Iyanla has at least 30, maybe 38 years over this woman as far as experience and maturity. But here she's claiming to be the expert on narcissism.
I'm just going to say it, okay? I think Iyanla is a covert narcissist.
Now, for those of you who don't know what covert is, I looked it up. It means hidden. It means she's not that obvious. So this woman claims to be the one to reveal the what we don't see as obvious narcissism. She's going to reveal it to us.
Yes. Iyanla is toxic. Maybe y'all don't see what I see.
No, we don't.
I see when it comes to her children, she lost 2 daughters. I don't know if y'all knew that. If you do Google research on her background, and I'll just put alleged just in case the information on Google is inaccurate.
And that's true because Iyanla is always teaching about the lessons that she learned having to bury 2 children. This is very, very important for those of you who are struggling with having to bury a child. This woman claims that Iyanla's a bad person because she lost 2 children.
Accurate, but what I gathered, she lost 2 daughters to cancer. Very young. I think her first daughter was in her 30s, and the second daughter was the more recent death. Her daughter was like 48, 49 years old. Both women passed away from cancer. Red flag.
Now
But the reason why,
tell me why that's a red flag that your adult children die. See, my experience, and I'll let Vauban talk on this if he wants, but my experience is when you have an adult child struggle, get disease, sickness, die, that's between your adult child and the Most High, the one who created them. Once you have nursed them, mothered them, put them through school, they're on their own when they become an adult. It's not your business. I've learned that the hard way. It's not my business to influence and change the direction of their life once they become adults. It's between them and the Most High. But this woman claims it's a red flag that for some reason that Iyanla lost 2 children, which she sort of hints that because she's a narcissist.
I'm doing this video is because she was on the Breakfast Club and they were talking about her second daughter's death and how her grandson didn't want her there at the funeral. She claims, she had to go a day before to make peace with her daughter because she was not welcomed. Or I won't say welcome, I will just say her grandson was triggered. Her grandson obviously does not like her. And this is where,
And I might say my grandson doesn't like me either right now. My grandson the other day told me I smelled like compost. I stink. I hate you. These are the words that have come out of the mouth of my grandson. So this woman is obviously very inexperienced about the relationship that grandmothers have with their grandchildren, which gets sometimes very unloving. And is that because you're a narcissist? Is it because it's a red flag because you've been a bad grandmother? We'll leave that out.
She made it about herself. So I went the day before. I saw my daughter the day before. Maybe your daughter didn't want you there.
And there you go again, making this insinuation that the relationship that she had with her adult daughter was really all her fault because she's hinting because you're a narcissist.
Now, this clip that I posted about Iyanla on the Cam Newton podcast, which is another red flag. Y'all know how I feel about these toxic podcasts. Iyanla has bounced from toxic podcasts. I mean, Tamron Hall show. When I saw her on the Tonight's Conversation, Ace Metaphor, that toxic relationship panel. Yeah, I know Iyanla is just like the rest of them, sociopathic. She's a covert narcissist, but that Cam Newton interview sealed it for me. You listen to her exact words. That is the same script of the baby boomer generation. Iyanla is a baby boomer. That's how all I won't say all, most of them. We have a small percentage of baby boomers that weren't toxic and they were very affectionate and loving and great parents. The rest of the boomers are fucking narcissistic as hell.
Okay. And so I wanted you to just see this woman's energy. I think that's enough from her. The rest of the baby boomers are effing narcissists as hell. Now, when I heard that, I was watching it kind of calmly, and I'm like, what did she say? It's like, and there's probably listen, a lot of us baby boomers grew up with alcoholic parents, okay? So our homes were pretty dysfunctional, to say the least. So when Iyanla talks about she didn't know how to nurture her daughters, we didn't have the parenting examples to even teach us that, We had to learn from scratch as mothers, parents, whatever. Vauban Schwartzwald, what was your experience growing up as a baby boomer? Were you attending to be a narcissist or did you have perfect parents?
Nobody has perfect parents.
So what was your experience?
Well, looking back, first thing before I get into that, Trump would be more accurately described as a megalomaniac.
Okay, but that's extreme narcissists too. They come in under that category too.
Okay. Anyway, I'd say I'd had at times you thought, you don't got good parents, or you like your environment. But then when you become an adult, at some point in time, you discover you had it pretty good. At least I had it pretty good overall. So I didn't witness any domestic, but you know what? I never even heard of domestic violence until I was probably in my 20s.
Did you have any alcoholics in your family?
Yeah, my stepfather was alcoholic until about the last 12 years or so of his life. He was sober, but even when he went on a drunk binge, which might be 2 or 3 days, about 3 times a year, he would get drunk and go to sleep. Later on, I found out you have mean drunks, you have fighting drunks. So I didn't witness or experience any of that. I didn't, no drug addicts. Matter of fact, I think I got too much attention from my mother, but so yeah, looking at what some people have gone through, particularly through the foster care system, I would say I had a pretty good childhood.
So why
Not
do you
perfect,
think,
but nobody does.
so why do you think this woman feels that majority of boomers are effing narcissists? What do you think
Well, that's
her experience has been?
That's yeah, right. That's her experience. No, because nobody sees the whole picture. So when we have different filter glasses on, so I didn't agree with only thing about Iyanla Vanzant that I disagree with is she, she doesn't recognize, she doesn't recommend women get involved with men based on their potential, because potential doesn't pay the rent or put food in your stomach. But other than that, I mean, she's pretty popular, So, but I wouldn't call her a narcissist, though.
Okay, so you and I agree that that label is probably a little inaccurate. In fact, I'd say very inaccurate. But
Very
again,
inaccurate. Yeah.
the spectrum is there are some tendencies, even for mild-mannered people, empaths, let's say, who can be a little narcissistic sometimes, meaning controlling, selfish. But then you have on one end of the spectrum those like Trump and those in the middle. I wouldn't put Iyanla even in the middle. I wouldn't, at what I've seen and heard from her, and you're going to hear from her in an interview. But let's just say that woman who just called all baby boomers, or most baby boomers, effing narcissists, is number one, spiritually immature. And what Iyanla teaches and has experienced and is now promoting in her book is mature spiritual growth. So this woman is resisting, in my opinion, the spiritual growth that we all need to go have and work toward, which is what Iyanla is doing in her work right now. And so the next interview you're going to see, this young man is, in my opinion, very mature spiritually, and you'll see why. So the difference in what we just saw, a woman who is immature spiritually, inaccurate in her description, inexperienced, and so many other things, she appears to me to be a little angry. In fact, if I watched a few of her other videos, she's had a lot of narcissistic abuse in her life. So she's labeling everybody that way. Because if she doesn't like them, especially if you're triggered and it makes you go, oh, I don't like that. She's narcissistic. So that's what we're seeing in terms of energy, immature spiritual energy by a woman who attacks another woman who's grown, who has teaching us how to grow spiritually. So this next interview is done by a young man who I look at as very mature spiritually and who's a millennial. He's 40. I think he says he's like 40 years old. And here we are, have Iyanla, 78-year-old, they're having a very healthy conversation. This first woman, you would not be able to have a healthy conversation. She's got, I think, too much anger And that's why I'm going to send her a copy of Vegetable Soup for Women, which I hope after she reads the story, some of the stories, she might calm down and gain some spiritual maturity. So let's look at this next interview. Let me see, who is this guy? Carlos King is interviewing. I'm not going to play the whole 49 minutes, but I want you to get the energy of a healthy conversation between a mature millennial, and a very mature spiritual baby boomer.
That will come on every day at 4:00 p.m. on Channel 7 in Detroit, Michigan. And this beautiful Black woman was giving this amazing advice, and I was a student.
And he's talking about the Oprah Winfrey Show. And I'd have to say, I was also a student of Super Soul Sunday that Oprah Winfrey had on for many, many years while I was married. I didn't miss the show. And if I would record it on my husband's TV if I did miss it, because we, as he said, we were students. And he's talking about his time before 20 years, I think he said 30 years ago, where he was a student.
And I was 16. So 30 years later, I still consider myself to be a student of this woman. So I am blessed to be in the presence of someone who I consider to be one of the professors.
Now, notice the energy of this man compared to that woman we just watched. He has gratitude, mature spiritual energy. He's not complaining. Maybe he didn't have any narcissistic abuse in his life. That's why he's grateful. But the other woman obviously experienced some negative energy that she hasn't quite overcome.
Of, talk show hosts. Ladies, gentlemen, gays and days, give it up for the Iyanla Vanzant.
Thank you. Why'd you have to put that 30 years in there?
I need the world
to talk dirty.
Not dirty. I need the world to know that you are new to this. You are true to this. And when I say true to this, you are true to the philosophy of helping people. And I'm serious when I say I remember watching episodes of you not only sharing the stage with Miss Winfrey, you literally being in the audience and you talking to the people, you're of the people, and your method changed me. You gave so much wisdom. And the beauty of your method, Miss Vanzant, was you never talked down to people and you always met people where they were at. And here I am sitting across from you. So the 16-year-old Carlos King, okay, you have no idea what that means to that teenage boy who studied you and marveled at you. And I'm just grateful and thankful that you decided to say yes to us having a chat about your newest project, but, just about the wisdom of the world you operate in.
Thanks. So I'm going to speed up to a point in it where she really gets into who she is, why she's doing what she's doing, and a little bit more about, so you can see her energy and judge for yourself whether you think she is in the narcissist spectrum of life.
Prince, Michael Jackson, DMX, Phyllis Hyman. People will watch you die if your dysfunction is profitable for them. R. Kelly. If it's profitable, they'll participate. Don't let me die. Carlos.
I'm mesmerized by that.
All a thing. And the social media, people are making money watching us kill ourselves, watching us die. They prostitute our pain and call it reality television. And that's not what Fix My Life did. That's not what Huntsville does. There's many of them out there that aren't doing that, but there's a lot of them that are. And we're clapping and watching it. No. Mm-mm. So my commitment is God has given me this platform and the opportunity to do ministry. Fix My Life, I did the work. The inside fix, I'm giving you what you need to do it. Because this society has taught us to be codependent. We are waiting on somebody else to save us. Did you know that?
Yes. Yes, because the thing is this, when you are in a position of perceived power.
Mm-hmm.
Perceived, right?
Mhm.
For example, when it comes to me, people think like, oh, get me on TV. It's like, baby, there's so many steps that takes. But the reason why I say perceived power is because it's a perception of what some people have when it comes to seeing someone like you or me on television, and the perception that we can easily fix your life by giving you
what you
the
want,
hearts of your desires.
right? As opposed to you doing the work to get it.
Yes.
I've been refined by fire, baby. My pubic hair got singed. I didn't win nothing. I have been refined in the fire. Hear me? You know, on my knees, scratched my knees, broke my nails. Yes, I was on television, but the work was required to do that. I buried 2 of my children. What? Oh, you want to be like me? How about that? How many kids you got? How many do you think you can go through and put them in the hole in the ground? You want to be like me? Be at 9. Be abandoned at 2. Go ahead. Come on, let's do it. I've been refined by the fire. But like you said, people will see that and think that because you're in place, let's go back to the one who makes it out. Because you're in place and you have access, that now you are obligated to give, to share. So Fix My Life was a giving and a sharing, where I went down and I pulled people up. Inside Fixes, I'm standing up here and I'm saying, come on, baby. This is how you do it. Come on. That's what the Inside Fix is.
How do you go from telling somebody you're not obligated to fix them because you are the one who made it out, without hurting their feelings or ruining the relationship? This could be a sibling, a parent, a cousin, a best friend. When they look at you and say, you made it out and it's your job to go back there and pull me in.
No. That was 20th century. That was Piscean era. We in the 21st century and in the Aquarian age, baby. Everybody's got the power. And that's what spiritual hygiene is about. That's what the Inside Fix is about. It's about helping people remember what they forgot they knew. People forgot that they're divine because this country, this society has made us so codependent and dysfunctional. People have forgotten that they are connected to the source of everything. I don't have any more brain than you, any more heart than you, any more blood cells. I don't have any more. We all have the same thing. We all came from the same place. A sperm met an egg, went up, did the thing, boop, bop, and we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got here the same way. Even if they got started in the little test tube, they still had to come out of hoo-ha to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Facts.
Okay.
Yes.
And everybody going out of here the same way. You're going to exhale. You're not going to inhale. Done. Bye. People have forgotten who they are because our insides are broken. Not because we're not accomplished. Not because we don't have degrees. Not because we don't have money. Some of the people with the money, the craziest ones out here. I won't mention any names.
What's the initials?
And the things that people are doing for money, destroying their insides, destroying other people for money. So for me, the Inside Fix is about self-awareness, self-honesty, giving yourself permission to grieve your errors, your mistakes, not blaming other people, and really remembering who you are so that we can grow from the inside out, because trying to get it from the outside in is killing us.
Now I'm going to speed up again, but I hope you're starting to feel the energy is not that of narcissism, because narcissists are always in the shame, blame, and it's all your fault. And I think Iyanla is trying to help us see we are powerful beings. Take responsibility and pull yourself up. Don't look for a savior out there, but recognize your power and pull yourself up, and no shame, no blame. And that's what narcissists are very, very good at, shaming and blaming. And Iyanla does not pull that card. Let me keep going. I speed up a little.
Because where do you look in the world today now that my first lady, Michelle Obama, is no longer in the White House? Where do you look today and see women of color that you can emulate, who aren't being beat up, torn down, talked about, And the ones that we do see, you know, they get eliminated very quickly. We're out of order. And again, I'm going to ask this question again. And like I said, you can hate me, just don't kill me because I have to raise my great-grandson. When you think about the women who behave in that manner, and I don't know who they are, black, white, red, doesn't matter to me, just women in general, who behave in that manner of thinking because they make the money, they run the roost, and they can say anything out of their mouth. This right here, this is a womb. It's a womb. It is always giving birth. So I'm real conscious because I don't want to give birth to, you know, mass murderers and I mean, and hateful things. And I don't want to give birth. This is a womb in a woman. We've got two, this one and this one. Our mouths are just out of order. And I don't care if they hate me for that. Because some of the things that I hear women say to each other or about each other, it's violent. Because they're...
And I would say the woman you watch versus has a violent womb. She speaks violently about people in an uneducated way, a very immature way. And right now, more than anything, we need unity, harmony, and love and compassion.
Birthing that. So the women who do that, look at the leadership of this country right now, going for the money, diminishing people who are less than, what's the distinction? One has a hoo-ha, one has a pee-pee.
That's good. That's good. Do you hate the term boss chicks? Boss women?
I don't hate it. I just think it's been misused. Yeah. Because do you want to be a boss or do you want to be a leader? I'm not a boss. I am a leader. I don't want to be a boss because bosses are responsible for other people. And I told you, I don't have dementia, but I got depletion. My memory card is full. I don't want to be responsible for nobody but my little 8-year-old. Close your mouth.
You're changing lives. Instead of saying I'm a boss, be a leader. And I think what is sort of slowly happening now is a lot of my girlfriends, because I'm in my 40s, we grew up together, high school, college, interning, production assistants, all those things. They were raised by their mothers and grandmothers and aunties, whatever. Be a boss, right? And all of my girlfriends, Miss Vanzant, all of them, 100% of them, and these are Black women, in their 40s, they woke up and said, wow, I spent all these years being the boss, that I don't have a husband.
I'm broke down. I got gout in my feet and tuberculosis in my eye.
And they want this. They want to revert back to like I want a soft life. Yeah. I want a man to be the leader of the household. I want to be able to bear children. I want to be a wife. And they feel like I was set up to be this accomplished woman. And I look at my life now and I have nothing to show for it.
Well, because again, we are following a paradigm that is not who we are as a people, particularly usins. And I'm brown and Black. I'm brown, red, and Black. Black, African-American, Latin, and indigenous. And I don't have to go to the DNA to find it. My grandmother was born on the reservation, you know? So we're following a paradigm that has nothing to do with who we are. And we're dying as a result. What is a boss? A boss is responsible for other people and what they think and what they do and boo. I'm not a boss. I'm a leader. And as a leader, I want you to be responsible for yourself so that we can walk a vision out together, so that we can walk a plan out together. I want to be able to support you and you able to support me so that when we get there together. But we following this paradigm of every man for himself when he hits the beach and step over whoever you need to step over and on to get to where you go. And that's not who we are. And this women just using their womb space as a weapon, it's violent. Some of the things I hear women say is violent. It's just violent.
So I'm going to stop it there and ask my co-host, do you have any comments before I go to the next video about that?
No, no narcissism with my metrics detected from her comments.
Thank you. Because she's all about we. as she said at the end there, she wants us to come together and improve our mouth, our lives, everything. And so be careful about listening to people like the woman I introduced you to earlier, who are blaming and shaming. All baby boomers are the problem. They're all narcissists. When you hear that, you should check your antenna for really what qualifies them to be all that. And I would suggest it's usually because that person has been abused by so many narcissists that it's like having a devil behind every bush type thing, that they want to call someone like Iyanla, who is just an amazing spiritual teacher, soul author, and I don't see any narcissism energy in her at all. I mean, there might be a touch. Like we said, that spectrum is wide. And if you look at Trump and what he's doing, and then measure all your friends and relatives on that spectrum, then very few of them match that energy of our president, and even in the middle. So any comments? I think I saw a comment or two. Let's see. 963 is with us. She says, what in the world is with humanity and man to say this? I assume she's talking about the woman who we just saw, who says every baby boomer is a effing. She didn't say it mildly. She didn't say, well, I wonder if baby boomers have a lot of narcissism. And no, every baby boomer is a effing narcissist. And watching some of her videos from her platform, she has adult autism. She's been seeing doctors, and her energy, I think, is a little off. And that's why I'm going to send her a PDF. She has her email address on her YouTube channel. I'm going to send her Vegetable Soup for Women to help her hopefully balance some of that energy. If not, it's okay. I'm not the boss either. I tried to be a boss when I was a mother of two small young men, two boys. These boys are now 40 and 45. Hands off. The Creator is helping me come away from the addiction of being a mother, and I'm a spiritual partner with these men, because if something happens to them where they take their last breath and leave their body, I'm going to keep stepping. I am not going to grieve over because right now we're not very close, which is a good thing. When you're not close to your adult children, if something were to happen, it would be easier to say, oh, well. But when you're really, really close, living with someone day to day, and then they say, bye-bye, that's when it's difficult. But as Iyanla said, she learned so much from having to bury her two daughters, that she is now on a path of helping others understand how to let go of that attachment as a mother and become a soul partner. Now, we're going to segue for the last 10 minutes or so. These monks are walking to Washington, D.C. And I heard a speech that was given today that was so inspiring. And it speaks to the unity that we need, not the division that this woman was speaking of earlier, and the hate and the anger and the violence. But this speech by this monk says it all for where we need to focus on our attention in our own personal lives, as well as whatever we do as leaders. This man is a leader, leading these monks walking barefoot across the United States even. But his message, I think, is so powerful. I want to share that with you now. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
All the law enforcement, all volunteers, and thank you everyone who gathered here this evening in the cold weather. Do you know why I decided to walk for peace? No? Let me share. I have seen so many sufferings around me. During the COVID-19, we supported a lot of people, a lot of communities around us. with food every week, 750 families per week for 2 years. And then we went to Uganda, Africa, and I have the nonprofit for all kind of relief around the world. And I have traveled, I've seen a lot of sufferings in so many different ways that led me to a thought of do something for this country and for this world, hoping that it will heal some of the people. We picked this route to go to Washington, D.C. We have went to states with really sad history. I cried. And I made this statement. Today, again, I would like to share, and I want to make this statement to everyone here. Our ancestors, all those people have sacrificed their life for freedom and peace, and they all have died. For all of us here to live with free of hatred, free of all kind of sufferings, and to have a peaceful life. They have done their part, and we are here still struggle with our life. We carry that hatred, that anger from generation after generations. We passed it on to our kids with hatred. We suffer. It's not enough. That is why we want our kids to suffer the same way, or what? I have seen so many children wanted to fight for something that they don't even understand. But I do see that it's suffering within them because of all that anger and hatred. It's because of hatred and anger that is why this world is chaotic.
And he's making a powerful point here. I see children, especially my grandchildren, who express hate in unloving ways because they're in pain. And sometimes that's all we can observe is that these people have pain who hate, but we can also do what he's asking us to do in this video.
Always fight with each other for something that we call benefits. And us, Buddhist monk, we walk for this far is not to stir up any pot. We want to share with you all this message. If there is no loving kindness, there is no peace. If there is no compassion, there is no peace. Love and kindness means we love everyone equally. There's no separation. There's no you and I. There's no mine and yours. There's a quote that our Buddha said, hatred will never cease hatred. Only love and kindness can cease hatred. And we walk for this far is very painful. We got our brother monk, which is Ajahn Mahadam, got in an accident and have to cut off his leg. Our venerable monks here, we walk almost like 25 to 30 miles per day. It worn us out. We have legs injuries, body injuries, but we still walk for this far. Just want to share with you all that loving kindness and compassion will bring us peace. If we don't have peace within ourselves, we cannot expect anybody to bring us peace. Government officials can bring us external peace by protecting this country. But for us to have peace for ourselves, we have to practice to be mindful every single act, thinking, and verbal. Without this, we will never have peace within ourselves. Our message is very clear. Walking from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C., wanted to share this love and this message to all people and everybody, all beings. We will not exclude anyone. Even though there are so many haters, so many people that hated us and shouted at us, yelled at us, and cursed at us, we react with, may you be well, happy, and peaceful. If we all can do this together, our country will be at peace. Our world will be at peace. Us monks alone, we cannot bring peace to this country, to this world, nor any of us. But for all of us monks and all of us here and all the people in this country and around the world, working together to have peace for ourselves and our family, this country, this world will be at peace. Don't you think so? Yes. For that purpose, for that case, we would like all of us to work closely within ourselves every day, mindful with our action, our verbal, our thinking, and practice to have a peaceful day every single day. By making a statement for ourselves in every morning when we wake up, write it down, today is my peaceful day. And live with that message, with that statement throughout the day. Don't let anybody in this world mess it up. We are the only person who can mess it up. No one else. Even though they throw in rock, lemons, bitter melons at us, we cook them all and eat. Okay? We don't need to react, because the more we react, the suffer we are. And we don't have time to waste. We don't have that much energy to waste for all that toxic. We should spread love and kindness and compassion to the universe so that all beings can receive it equally. No hatred. Imagine within this rally, if this group of monks come here with full of hatred, will you be able to stand here? No, because of that energy, it will push everybody away. But because of love, compassion, because of we are here together for one mission, which is to have peace for ourselves, for our family, for our society, and our country, and the whole world, that is why we be able to stand here together. It doesn't matter what background we are, what faith we believe, what skin color, or what language we speak. We all have the same blood color as bread. We have the same taste of tear, which is salty. There's no difference in between. So there's no need to be separated. All we need to do is just care for ourselves a little bit, give ourselves some love. Because we have been pushing ourselves out there for so long, chasing so many things for ourselves, end up with suffering.
So we want to end this show tonight with a little meditation or American native flute. Let us take a moment to send love to those monks. Breathe in the rhythm of the flute, and send love to those monks as they walk across the states of America, sharing, spreading love, compassion, and kindness. That's the only way we're going to see an end to these wars throughout our planet. Take a minute right now and just send love to these monks and to all those people in your life who you have not shown love, compassion, and kindness to. It really is that simple. Loving kindness and compassion. Whether you're at the grocery store or at the gas station or shopping, you can show loving kindness and compassion. And let us all be mindful, more conscious, more awake to that. And even people like Jasmine, who we played earlier, sending hate to all the baby boomers, let's just send her love too, that she would be healed of her autism, healed of her hatred, healed of her anger, healed of her violence, and that she would also begin to show loving kindness and compassion to all the people in her life, even the ones who have hurt her. Because the only way to deal with extreme narcissists is stay away from them. You don't need to keep criticizing and sending negative energy to them. It fuels them, actually, when you do that. You just avoid them. I've learned the narcissists in your life have to be avoided if they don't want to change, and they usually don't. And see, Iyanla Vanzant has changed from, that's why she's a phenomenal woman, in my opinion, because she has gone from survival mode to thriving mode. And that's what I believe is a phenomenal woman, even though we all suffer pains of all kinds, especially boomers. I don't think the millennials appreciate what boomers have had to go through with alcoholic parents, with civil rights, all the things we have been challenged with. We can now be grateful. And that's what I think boomers have as a gift that some of these millennials don't have, is gratitude that we have survived this far. So let's see, we have a few comments here. I think I read this. Yeah, Washington says, I'm so glad they came to Atlanta. My grandchildren were there holding signs. What a blessing. But I'm sure your grandchildren, I hope they were just changed forever. Seeing those peaceful men marching, some of them with no shoes on. And we have Brother Kwame sending prayers and the Ark of Protection for their walk as this storm is coming. Ooh, that's right. Yes, we ask, we send protection, and they do have people along the way, I believe, who are taking them in under rough circumstances. So we just believe and pray. Thank you, Kwame, for that reminder. An ark of protection would be over them as they're spreading peace throughout the land. Absolutely. Self-love radiates to all. Starting right here. Breathing in more self-love. Self-love. Fly. First, love yourself. That's the key. So we give thanks today for all the blessings that have come our way and that keep us strong. And to all the boomers out there, go, 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 keep going strong, take the best care of yourself. We are standing as a living example of survival and thriving to all the younger generations, because most of the older generations are passing on. So boomers, it's all on us to show the power, show the strength, show the faith, and show the love and kindness and compassion that will end all these wars and change our society. Thank you all for joining. Thank us. United souls tonight, united spirits. Let's see, where did Vauban go? Okay, let me just see if Vauban, I think he left. Okay, my co-host left. So thank you all for sharing this moment with us. Keep those monks in your prayers, and we believe that this energy that they're spreading up the country will affect many people. Vauban, did you have any final words?
No, thank you for the invite.
You're welcome, and stay warm. Well, it's going to be in the 80s this weekend in Florida, so come on down, folks. If you're too cold, now's the time. Snowbirds, come on down. This weekend is going to be 80. I'm going to be back on the bike trail this weekend, having orgasmic experiences with the trees. That's what I do. Loving it. All right, everybody, have a great evening, and thank you all. Shalom, namaste to all my yogi friends. Satnam, aho to all my brothers, Native American brothers and sisters. Ashe o, and shalom. Kwame says, we are the ones that came to do the work, and that's exactly why we're here every Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday morning with Health and Well-Being with Viata. No fear about viruses and colds and all that. We got this. We got all the remedies for you. We got all the solutions. Don't worry about all the fear-mongering. They're fear-mongering now about the measles, and we've been here before. Just remember, we've been here before. We know what to do. Join me on Friday morning. If any fear starts coming up that you can't get rid of, we'll get rid of it on Friday with more knowledge, more love, compassion, and kindness. Those are the words. Love us, united souls. Love, compassion, and kindness. Mwah. Have a great evening. Shalom.